Hello everybody, Jediwarlock here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. This is the first episode of a new mini-series I've been wanting to make for quite a while now. Today, we're returning to the world of Azeroth, where I'm going to be swimming around the various continents in the game and seeing what cool, out-of-the-way things we can discover. Some of these locations might be familiar to you, while others might be totally new. As you can see, we're starting down at the port city of Booty Bay, in the far south of the Eastern Kingdoms, and I'll be going about halfway around in part 1 of this journey before going all the way back here by the end of part 2. Through various means, I've acquired some elixirs of water breathing, which are going to be helpful for swimming underwater, and I'm also going to be using the stopwatch tool to see how long this trip will take. As a final note, I want to thank all of you for your support. We totally blew past 650 subscribers just a few days ago, and I couldn't be more appreciative. So, with all that being said, let's get right into it and explore the oceans of Azeroth. Starting my Blood Elf Priest from the iconic Janiro Point in Stranglethorn Vale, I jumped into the water and immediately ran into this piranha rare spawn, which I don't think I've ever seen before, which was a nice little surprise. The wild shore, filled with pirates and pirate ships, was fun to explore from below, and while the secluded far coast of Jaguaro Isle didn't have much to show, the sinking ruins of Aberaz were more interesting. The tipping columns indicate that some sort of environmental change, or merely the slow passage of time, has happened here, a remnant of the troll empires of old. Swimming north of Stranglethorn led me past the border of the Blasted Lands, and the music switch to the South Seas track hyped me up for this massive journey. Since the Blasted Lands are totally landlocked, I really didn't see much besides the scenic green cliffs as I swam past this area. The Swamp of Sorrows turned out to be quite a bit more interesting though. At the very bottom of the zone, I swam past this hidden Murloc camp, which I don't know if anybody knew was even here. Looking underwater revealed the continental shelf extends quite a bit south in this area, and combined with the curious blank space on the Blasted Lands map, makes me wonder if the Swamp of Sorrows was originally supposed to be a bigger zone. The rest of the coast was filled with more murlocs, turtle shells, and even a lone shipwreck. The northern part even had some interesting islands that are unusual for such a by-the-wayside zone, and the bay formed by the swamp and the nearby Red Ridge Mountains forced me to take a bit of a U-turn as I swam along the beach. Unsurprisingly, from this side of the continent, the kingdom most associated with mountains was where I saw the least coastal features. The towering mountains of Cosmodan stretched along for miles, insulating the water from any notable views. While I was passing through the Loch Medan part of the coastline, my region switched to the wetlands, which I knew would lead to a bit more action than the previous few zones. After a quick lunch break, I continued north until I reached the strait separating the two halves of the continent. The imposing Thandal span connects the two halves, and I decided to swim to it and check out the view from underneath. Alliance players take note, this dwarf skeleton has a scroll that can be picked up as a quest item and returned to Ironforge for some easy experience. I couldn't pick it up as a Horde player though. I swam back out of the strait, and it didn't take long to run into another fun location. The Arathi Dwarven Farm is here on the east coastline, and I think this is one of the coolest little additions to the map that only adventurous players will be rewarded with. It didn't take long to next reach the Hinterlands, which thankfully does have a developed coastline with some neat features. The village of Reventusk is here, a Horde base camp in the zone, and the wooded Overlook Cliffs are some of the game's most impressive. I found some more troll ruins in the water here, and there are some small islands as well that have to do with the quests in the area. Swimming on, the skies turned dark, the music got a little bit spooky, and soon enough I was swimming past the dreaded ruins of the Scarlet Enclave. Once the breadbasket and home front of the fanatical Scarlet Crusade, the entire region was burned by the Lich King's Death Knights, and now is home to the floating citadel of Acheris, the base of their operations. Not a lot to be found here on the coastline, but the region's apparent emptiness was a bit eerie to spectate. Soon after leaving the Plaguelands, I began the long final push to the top of the Eastern Kingdoms. It is here where Quel'Thalas, the kingdom of the High Elves, is located. Well, kinda. See, when the Burning Crusade expansion came out, Blizzard didn't actually stitch the zones together, and the two elven starting zones are actually on a totally different world map than the rest of the continent. That being said, instead of swimming up and reaching something that looks like this, instead I encountered this, the placeholder area for Quel'Thalas that is actually a pretty cool little Easter egg. There are no quests or NPCs here, but when I found this spot for the first time a few years ago, I thought it was cool Blizzard was already thinking about what they were going to add to the world next. I stopped my timer a little over 2 hours and 7 minutes and decided to give my priest a break for the time being. Even though there were quite a few mountain ranges to pass by in this episode, I'm guessing there will be even more cool finds on the second half of this journey as we continue our loop around the Eastern Kingdoms. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, comment down below with your thoughts, subscribe if you're new to join the Jedi Order, and until next time, peace.